when you look at history, man, now, taking heed, I'm not a historian. I do wish that I went to school and majored in history, but it is what it is. When you look at history, it's like our ancestors left the writings on the walls in Egypt, called hieroglyphics. In ancient Sumer, they left carved writings in stone, edged in stone, called cuneiform. You know what I'm saying? And they talked about how they lived, their judicial system, what they ate, their hygiene, the form of entertainment that they were entertained by. I mean, in ancient Kemet, you had the 42 laws of Ma'at. We can go to Babylon and talk about the code of Hammurabi. I think that's how you pronounce it. All these civilizations of the past was teaching us on how to conduct ourselves. And it's always wise to look back at the past to see where ancient civilizations, empires failed, so we won't repeat the same mistakes. But as usual, we're on the road of repeating the same mistakes that we read about in history books when we were in high school. And it's crazy to me that a lot of us studied the Roman Empire, Greece, those two civilizations in high school. And we knew just exactly how those two failed. And the same way they failed is the same way America's falling or failing. Greed. And that's real talk. The politicians know it. The preachers know it. The businesses know it. Matter of fact, they all in cahoots with one another to suppress and control us. That is church, state, corporations, business. They're in the business of suppressing and controlling us. They know it. They know the consciousness of America is gone. Because America doesn't work for the people anymore. It doesn't govern over, she doesn't govern over her people anymore. Matter of fact, I don't think she ever did when it comes to blacks or minorities in particular. So what makes one think, for those that are saying, oh man, don't worry about it, the economy's going to be good, you know what I'm saying, it's just a big turnaround and this and that and so forth. What makes you still have faith? Knowing that literally the writing's on the wall. I may not agree with religion, in particular Christianity, but even in the Bible it speaks about how those people lived in the past. And in Revelations, they're foreshadowing and telling you how this place that we call America is going to fall. Based on the same wickedness, the same greed, the same problems that were in the Bible, that the Egyptians had, that the Greeks had, the Romans had, the Mayans had, the Aztecs had, the Babylonians had. The list goes on. We're going to feel the same way. And it makes no sense. Straight up. If I write 2 + 2 = 4 on a chalkboard, and I give you a test, and the test has one question on here. What's 2 + 2? And you answer 5, and the shit is right on the wall. The answer's right there. It's on papers. It's etched in stone. It's written on walls. It's on tablets. And I'm not talking about those type of tablets. I'm talking about ancient ones. How in the hell do we fuck up? How do we keep on looping the same mistakes over and over and over again? I'm tired of being on this planet, man. This is a prison planet. And it's not because Earth has imprisoned us. We have imprisoned ourselves with our minds, our primitive minds. When all we think about is greed. Mine, 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 mine. Take, take, take. Control, control. You're using your reptilian brain. That animalistic side of you. That these ancient civilizations taught us about. And gave us laws, codes to follow. They knew exactly what greed was going to get you. Selfishness. How far that was going to get you. But yet and still, we think we're modern. We think we're smarter than the people from the past. You know what I'm saying? We got AI, artificial intelligence, or automation, and all the rest of that shit. Let me tell you something. Don't let that melanin recessive man make you think that he's smarter than anyone that was in the past. When this is crazy. He's supposed to be so smart, but he's still trying to figure out who built them pyramids and how old those pyramids actually are. I truly believe that at the end of the day, we have done this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. That the reality of it is when people say history repeats itself, that's real. It's been countless times throughout my life I've had deja vu, where I stopped and paused and was like, yo, no, I've been here before. I've done the same thing. But I'm trying to figure out now, where did I go wrong? Because it's obvious I haven't ascended. And for those that don't know anything about ascension, I'm not going to explain it to you. That's an individual journey. And if you don't know what it is, then you need to find it out. You need to find out. It's obvious that I haven't ascended. It's obvious that I have repeated the same shit over and over again. Pause. This time, where did I go wrong? I need to know. What am I missing? Because I don't want to get it wrong this time. There's no telling how many times I've gotten it wrong. My point in making to you, tectonic plates move. Land masses are created. Other land masses sink into the ocean. This planet we call Earth, there's no telling how many civilizations, how many empires she has seen. People still talk about the lost civilization called Atlantis and Atlanteans. So what makes one think that we haven't seen or created artificial intelligence or anything on this planet? Like before. This has probably been our 4th or 5th time. I don't know, because I'm not in the past, and neither were any of these motherfuckers that's alive now. At least not in this particular incarnated in this body. Now, some people do have the gift of remembering their past life. And who am I to say if they're right or wrong? While others are just mere guessing and lying. Why are we going to fuck up this time? The problem is there. America, as well as other empires around the world, are falling because of greed. The 1%ers own 90% of the wealth on this planet. While the rest of the people starve. Are homeless, living from paycheck to paycheck, credit card to credit card. Nissan just laid off 20,000 people. Truck drivers are being laid off because there's no work for them. They ain't got no cargo to load up and unload. We're talking about a generation that has been dumbed down. And the only thing smart about us is our phone and the appliances that we have. You got a smartphone, you got a smart refrigerators, smart stove. Alexa's smart. You ask her, hey, Alexis, what time is it? Alexis, what's today's day? Alexis, what's the temperature? Everything is smart except for you. It's over. And I know it's over because I'm going to give you the solution to the problem. And that is, we have to practice an old solution that all civilizations and empires, maybe they didn't practice it, but they knew about it. And that is love. Loving one another. And I know that may sound corny, but it's the truth. That's the only way we're going to get out of this situation. It's the only way that when, to make a turnaround. And it's not going to happen. It's too much greed. It's too much hate. It's too much jealousy. It's too much envy. It's too late. I would just say focus on yourself. Because as a collective, we ain't going to make it. As an individual, you will. Straight up. The clock has been set. And I don't know if I said it, but if I haven't said it, I'm going to say it. This fall that we're talking about is not going to be a boom, a Thanos snap. It's going to be a slow burn. And everyone's going to feel it. Those that haven't ascended. And at the end of the day, you're going to be on your own. Because can't no preacher and his Jesus and his Nicene Council, Holy Bible, with a literate man named King James, get you out of this. Can't no corporation, no money, no politician. Republicans can't do it. Democrats can't, and they know it. You're gonna have to rely on self. And we're gonna see just how strong people really are when they see this artificial world come tumbling down. It's real talk. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm just telling you the truth. If you think America's gonna last forever, look no further. Just reflect back on the past. Did Rome? Did Greece? Kemet? Ancient Sumer? Babylon? I don't know too much about the Chinese dynasty and their empires and shit. And the empires that were in India, did any of them last? Are they still around? All empires must fall. Because it always gets to the point where these empires are consumed by greed. And they no longer give a fuck about the people. And in this particular case, this empire that I was born and raised in not only doesn't give a fuck about the people, doesn't give a fuck about the land. Doesn't give a fuck about the air. Doesn't give a fuck about the plants, the trees, the animals. In the empire that I was born and raised in, everything's for sale. Even the shit that comes out of, no, straight up shit is for sale. The shit that comes out of a cow's ass and a horse's. They don't call it shit, they call it manure. Everything is for sale. I don't know if they're doing it right now, but I saw on the news a couple months back how California is trying to turn urine into clean water, drinking water. Everything is for sale. If it's not for sale, it's reusable. It's still for sale. They reuse the shit and sell it back to you. I stopped wearing damn Nikes. You want to know why? One big reason. There's several reasons, but one big reason. Other than I'm not wearing anything on my chest. I'm a brand. For those that got jokes and shit talking about some, man, he look like, he should be on Naked and Afraid and this and that, so forth. I ain't wearing nobody's shirt, motherfucker. I'm the brand. This is my brand name. My chest. My body. I'm not putting no name brands on my back or on my chest. Ever again. But I remember I bought some Nikes. And I looked on the side of the box and it said, these sneakers were made with recyclable parts. So you took old sneakers, cleaned them up, ripped them up, and made my sneakers. And you gonna sell that shit to me at a retail price? I'm gonna go out there and pay $160 for some sneakers that's recycled. They're recycled, not brand new. I said, no. Not doing it. So yeah. It seems as though that we're going to repeat the same mistakes that were made in the past. And it's sad because this shit just feels like a fucking record that keeps on skipping. Well, we don't never learn. That's why I'm focused on my ascension. Because that is the only way out. Other than that,